Guys, I want to talk about mental discipline, really building that resilience within the mindset. I talk about this a little bit in the program with setting goals and having the discipline to do some of the things that you need to do, even though you don't want to do it. Again, it's going to build resilience. It's going to be able to allow you to navigate certain situations and come out on top. And that goes across not only for your health and wellness, but as far as like obviously your health, your fitness, your relationships, your production with whatever career you're working towards or in. So I'm going to go through a couple different steps, and some of this is review for you guys, and some of this may sound new. I do have those modules that I like to work you guys through, and if we need to kind of review some of those components. First, we want to really define the non-negotiables. What does that look like for you? This is where goal setting is very important. When I talk about defining who you want to become, what does that look like? Your environment. Be very clear and set your standards across the board. How do you want to show up in life? From your health, work, relationship, leadership. How do you want to be as a husband? How's your relationship with your wife? What does that look like? And set that standard. Guys, because sometimes we get complacent and we get off track, and day to day adds up, and before you know it, it's 3 weeks gone by, a month, a year, and we may not be in the place we want to be. So setting the standards, again, this is all goes back to the mental discipline of going in a direction you desire and you want to accomplish. So it's going to help when you set that standard and know exactly what that looks like and where you're going. You kind of get tunnel vision. You eliminate all the distractions that may come by, because you will have them. You'll get opportunities and things that don't align with where you're going, and that's okay. The second one is master the art of delay gratification. We live in a society of instant gratification. I'm guilty of it too. I've purchased things on credit in the past that I regret because I ended up paying too much in interest. It happens, guys. But what you really have to do is train yourself to choose a little bit long-term components for short-term pleasure, right? Sounds so simple. It is, but we get distracted sometimes, like, oh, I can do this now, and then we suffer the consequences. And instead of taking the time and delaying the gratification, because it's going to build that aspect of mental focus and discipline. So let me keep moving because my battery's getting low. Control your internal dialogue. This is going to be important. How you communicate. Become aware of negative self-talk. Replace that with empowering statements. I always show up. Eating healthy is simple. I always make my workouts, because that's just simple components. So you can use that across the board. And positive reframes. So your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between if you're talking to somebody over there or yourself. So be very careful with your language. So you want to minimize the amount of negative language that's coming out, and you may want to reframe it into a positive format. So again, control your internal dialogue and sometimes your external dialogue. And then your environment. You guys heard me talk about this so many times, because your environment has a huge impact on how you show up, how you respond. What does that look like? How you feel, and your energy component. So if your environment and routines, do you need to evaluate those and remove temptations and distractions that weaken your discipline? You may need to do that. So delete things that are not serving you and remove those if you have to. Sometimes you can just stay away from and maneuver, from point A to point B without totally getting rid of it. Sometimes you have to get rid of and change your environment and really reorganize your environment for success. So again, mental discipline is very important. It is a way and a tool that it takes practice, just like anything else. But you have to take some of the steps, guys. So I will review these again. And again, if we need to book a call and go through some of these components to review them, do so. Because I have, again, a lot more modules in the mental side of things. So define the non-negotiables, how you want to show up, what does that look like, goal setting, who you want to become. All those components need to be set and have some idea of where you're going, okay? And then master the art of gratification, Okay, not instant gratification. Sometimes we have to do the work to get to the end. Okay, time is not always linear, so sometimes it shows up a lot faster. But if you have the ability to say no sometimes and push out that gratification, you have it will give you more control. So, and then control your internal dialogue, how you communicate with yourself, how you view yourself, and then how you communicate with other people. Be aware of that, because sometimes we start taking on negative language that we shouldn't have to. So you may have to reframe your language to more of a positive component. And then the last one is strengthen your environment and routines. You may have to remove or associate with certain things you're doing now. So, take and do an evaluation of your environment. Do you need to change a little bit of your environment? Do you need to upgrade your environment? Do you need to make some changes within that environment? So, guys, hang in there. This is invaluable to really practice on the mental resilience and being able to navigate certain situations. So, go out and finish winning this week, and I'll talk with you guys as the week goes on.